Hey, good morning, everybody. Mark Holmes here at my sports desk, and we have an interesting day. Breaking news, of course. By now, you've all heard that J.J. Watt has decided to go to the Houston Texans and ask to be released, in which case they did release him. I actually wanted to play for you guys his video of exactly what's going on. So let's go here real quick and listen to this.
I wanted to do this on video as opposed to putting out a statement or doing a press conference or anything like that, because I want you guys to hear it directly from me. I want to speak directly to you and the city of Houston, so you can hear the words straight from my mouth. I have sat down with the McNair family and I have asked them for my release, and we have mutually agreed to part ways at this time. I came here 10 years ago as a kid from Wisconsin who'd never really been to Texas before. And now I can't imagine my life without Texas in it. The way that you guys have treated me, besides draft night, I mean, you guys booed me on draft night, but every day after that, you treated me like family. And I truly feel like you're my family. Since that day, I have tried to do everything in my power to work and earn your respect and try and make you proud on and off the field. You guys have given me everything and more, and I can only hope that you feel like I've given you everything I have. The city of Houston's been unbelievable to me. It's where I met my wife. It's where I've met lifelong friends and my teammates. I've had incredible coaches and training staff and equipment staff and cafeteria workers and the weight room staff and the front office people and people on the streets, people in restaurants and grocery stores and showing up at my house. The connection is special, and I will never, ever take that for granted because I know how rare it is. I'm excited and looking forward to a new opportunity, and I've been working extremely hard. But at the same time, it is always tough to move on. And I just want you guys to know that I love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the McNair family for giving me, drafting me and giving me my first opportunity in the NFL. Thank you, Houston. I love you.
Wow. Okay. Couple things there. Definitely was an emotional goodbye. A thank you. He professed his love to being in Texas, coming from Wisconsin. Didn't know much about Texas before he got there. Met his wife there. We know how important Houston he was to Houston when the hurricane came through, where he raised over $40 million by himself. So here's where it gets to be interesting. DeMarcus Lawrence this morning tweeted at Patrick Peterson as well as J.J. Watt, wanting them to come, of course, to the Cowboys. Now, this may be a stretch. A lot of people will say, well, he's got his brother, T.J. Watt, who's with the Steelers, and that he'll probably want to go play with his brother. And that's a possibility. But when you heard what he just said about his love for Texas, of all the people that he knows and things, it's only about a 3-4 hour ride from Houston to Dallas. And you could conceivably keep your family and things in Houston, have another little spot in Texas, and be close to those things that you love, if you can envision him being a Dallas Cowboy. Of course, the haters are going to say, well, you can't do that because you got to sign Dak. Or they'll say, don't sign Dak, sign J.J. Watt. Well, you can actually do both. And this is where you have to say to yourself, and I've already seen the comments from the earlier ones that said, yeah, well, how did that guy work out for you before with Dontari Poe? Well, I'll say this much. Dontari Poe, who we signed during training camp, was on the PUP list, never had the resume of a J.J. Watt. And if you can sign, because, we ended up making some deals. We signed an Emerson Griffin, didn't work out. But we also signed an Aldon Smith that did work out. There's no guarantees in football. There's no guarantees for any player. You can go ahead and have somebody drafted number one, like DeMarcus Russell, You know what I'm talking about, where the Raiders drafted number 1, have the guy end up being a bust. You can draft a guy in the 6th round and become a player that played in 10 Super Bowls. Everything in football is a gamble and a risk. There is nothing, and I mean nothing in football, that's a guarantee. But you think about the type of player he is and the emotional leader he is. This is where football is brute strength. It's being physical. But it's also having somebody that knows how to take that brute force and that physicality and make sure it's maximized by putting them in a position to win. It's also about being able to motivate players to want to win. I've seen players that are that type of players. DeMario Davis is one of those, Calais Campbell, that not only brings their physicality, their emotion, their ability, but elevate people around them. I honestly can say I don't see a lot of those guys on our team right now that are an influx of energy and emotion. And that, my friends, when you get somebody who has been everything he could be, he's given it all, left everything on the field, that understands that my time is short, you have something to reckon with. We'll see if anything happens of it, but definitely DeMarcus Lawrence is one that's all in on that proposition. Definitely would love to see a Patrick Peterson and a J.J. Watt. We'll see what the Cowboys have up their sleeves. They got a lot of work to do. And as always, guys, I want to thank you all for being here. It's going to be an interesting day, and I'm going to get back to work here. I'll see you soon.